I'm Claudio Villalobos, along with the crane Nick Frazier. Nick, at one point in the press room, we thought, well, this is it.
Yeah.
Finally, Nashville is gonna be defeated for the first time this season at home, but this team is resilient as you will ever find. And they decided that that wasn't the case, and in what, three minutes? Is that what you?
Yeah, a minute and a half from
Well,
all the goals. Yeah, I mean, 93rd minute, then the 95th minute, and you're just thinking, no way,
No
this
way.
is happening. It reminded me of the League's Cup goal where Sam Surge scored the latest goal
Yep,
in
yep.
the club's history, and it's kind of what it reminded me of. I mean, Andy Nahar. I mean, this is a guy that played the full 90 plus, and still to have that pace on the ball to strike it into the back of the net. But not only that, the ball that was put in from Jason Palacios.
Oh wow, man, that's a key play right there from a central back. Anyways, I mean, and to be honest with you, at one point it seemed to me that the team was doing a lot to deserve this defeat.
Yeah.
Because they should have been winning the game earlier, especially in the first half. I mean, granted that Columbus Crew is a good team, they managed the ball well and everything, but even after that, I believe, and we just discussed it a little bit in the press room that Nashville was kind of playing with fire, to be honest, just to put it that way, because they were the best team. They were controlling the ball, the tempo, and they were coming into the three quarters of the field with the ball on their feet. But for some reason, after that, they were not clinical at all with the ball, and that was caused the whole thing. And then we even said it. When that happens, then and the other thing comes back to you. They score a goal on you. They tie the game. Maybe deserve it or not, they still found a way to do it. And then sometimes it happened. What happened? They scored the second goal, and it was pretty much gone from then until they decided that that wasn't the case.
Yeah, and you go back and you look at this game, and obviously Nashville wins 3-2 over the Columbus Crew for those tuning in. But the way that they played in the first half, like you just mentioned, to me, I thought Nashville did a really good job playing out of the counter press, getting into the counter attack. I thought in transition they were pretty clinical for the most
Yes.
part. BJ Callahan thought otherwise. He thought in the final, I'd say, attacking third, there were some little spaces where they need to clean up at. And we discussed that as well. When Nashville was inside the 18, those in-swinging crosses, those direct line of passes that were on the ground with some pace, I think were, put behind the receiving pass along with, just out of touch for a foot or two. So, I think that's something you can just easily fix on the
Yes.
training grounds for sure. But when you're in a situation like Nashville right now, they're 9 points clear in the Eastern Conference standings. I believe they're if I'm not mistaken, 6 or 5 points clear of the entire MLS for Supporters Shield. So they're creating a good cushion for themselves, and that only creates a better conversation point for them because it goes back to me for the League's Cup run. And even BJ mentioned about the resiliency of this team. It goes back to that League's Cup run. And now you have these young players getting quality minutes, and they can get more minutes now with a little bit of a cushion behind them of standing points. Then you can sub in guys like Christian Espinoza, Elias Saad,
Yeah.
whenever you need to, not having to physically have to start them week in and week out.
I mean, it was nice to see Patrick just becoming more than what he's still a little bit to go yet to be
Sure.
the same that we had before the World Cup break, but it's still a pretty good game, I believe. And you can see how the middle of the field changes with Patrick, and Patrick's presence is there. Not because anybody else, he might be, you're not going to go and say, well, one's better than the other. No, it's just a style of play. The style of play fits this team very well. The way he comes back to carry ball from the defense,
Right.
that long transition he does from box to box is something that perhaps it was missing in particular games, not in every game. And then all of a sudden we see that coming in. And I think what happened at and BJ said that like you just mentioned, in my opinion, what was happening is they were some of the guys, Mokhtar and others, trying to solve the stuff by themselves for a little while. Not all game, but in particular situations, they tried to make more than it was supposed to. Instead of just maybe passing the ball, making somebody open on the flanks,
Yeah.
stuff like that were not coming in, and that's what caused the main issue at the beginning, especially in the first half. Once they realized late, I might add, that wasn't gonna work, then decided to do that in the last 6 minutes of the game. They switched their mind. They switched everything else. I don't know how. I can see, and we were talking about this as well, how the guys from Columbus were surprised they wouldn't even move from the field when the game was over because they couldn't believe it.
That's
They
right.
just couldn't believe what happened. With this game was ours, and all of a sudden in 3 minutes we lost it. That's one of the things that makes this game so beautiful.
You know what's even more beautiful about the game of soccer, especially here at Geodis Park? Out of the 3 goals that Nashville scored tonight, 4 of the goal contribute. 3 of those goals, 4 defenders were in on all those contributions. The first goal to Hani Mukhtar was a little flick pass on the inside of the 18 from Daniel Levitz on the left flank of the field. Fantastic ball. Good job. Hani did a good job of blocking off the ball, waiting for his time to take a shot on net, and then he capitalized. And as for the other ones, you have Andy Nahar who scores the late goal. Jason Palacios with a nice pass. Reed Baker Whiting with the header into the back of the net from a corner kick from Hani Mukhtar. So Hani Mukhtar, a goal and an assist tonight. It's just this team is starting to get back to its old form before the World Cup break.
It has. I mean, you're right. Seeing the defenders, and that was something that perhaps happened more often last season than this one, when the defenders were combining their good play in the back, defending, and also scoring games. I mean, scoring goals like it happened tonight. So to see that happening again at this point of the season, it only adds more power to what a team that is already powerful enough to be on top of everything in the league at this point. And Nashville is simple, the best team in the league.
Sure,
there's no other way around.
Yeah, I mean statistically they definitely are, but you make a good point about just the way that this team plays defensively and being into the attack. I'm sure we could go back to all the heat maps from last season, and even Patrick Yazbek mentioned it in his post-match press conference of teams may see us being more predictable on the right side because let's be fair, every single point of attack for Nashville when they were on offense last year started with Andy Nahar on the right flank.
Yes.
It did. Now with Reed Baker Whiting in the fold, and we've known this since the very beginning of the season, but for him to be a versatile back to play right or left, when Andy Nahar is healthy and you have Reed Baker Whiting on the left, it creates more of an equal balance, which is, the unpredictability factor goes through the roof. Teams have a hard time scouting this team because they're so quick, fast, and being able to go upfield and just press them. That's the beauty about the way Nashville plays, is if they don't press their opposing team within the first 10 to 15 minutes, they're going to struggle in the second half because both teams by then are worn out, but the opposing team they're playing against a little bit more fresh because they're not being as pressed.
Well, I mean, it is difficult for the other teams, to be honest with you, because you were saying very well what happened with this team, perhaps last season more than now.
Sure.
When the teams were very worried about that right flank with
Andy.
Now you add to next to Andy, you have Christian Espinosa, who sometimes it seems like you can find him anywhere in the field. But then on this team, you now have on the other side guys like
Reed Baker Whiting,
Ali Saad, and that makes it really hard for anybody to defend both flanks of a game all day long with a team beating you in transition, beating you in speed, quick outbursts of speed. That's too much.
It's kind of crazy just thinking about this. Andy Nahar, Reed Baker Whiting have similar archetypes where they play fast, physical, and they're able to go upfield, right? You look at Ali Saad, you look at Christian Espinoza. Before Ali Saad was in the fold of this starting 11, it was Warren Madrigal, Christian Espinoza on each side. Mainly Madrigal on the left side, okay? Madrigal has that more of, I'm going to go attack the defender head on and see what I can do from that. More of a number 9 mentality, if that makes sense. But now with Ali Saad in the fold, along with Christian Espinoza, they play similar, if that makes sense. Ali Saad likes to cut in. So does Christian Espinoza. Christian Espinoza likes to put those in-swinging crosses, makes a feint move and goes down to the byline. Same thing for a guy like Ali Saad. He likes to favor more of the inside foot because it opens up for the Tirajiro shot. If it does open, normally it doesn't, but it has that opportunity to pass it off to the top of the 18 for a midfielder like Yazbek or Corcoran to come racing in to strike it into the back of the net.
It says a lot about a player who's missing from the lineup because of injury. In the case of Warren Madrigal, that he's missed tonight.
Yeah,
his style you already described very well. The 1v1 that he's got maybe is different from other guys in the team. Sure. He does it everywhere in the field, especially 3 quarters up. And he was missed at one point in this before the team started doing what they did at the very end. That was part of the game that Nashville couldn't show because the way that the crew set up 2 lines there to defend the 2-1, which is I think was smart on their part.
Yep.
That particular positioning of a team in defense is something that you need to find somebody or have people in there that can actually take somebody on 1v1 in front of the area and cause trouble. And it's not that Nashville doesn't have that; it does. But Warren is a different as a different level when it comes to that. And well, it was missed tonight. Finally, the team decided to find other solutions, which they have and they found. But I mean, for some reason, and I don't know why, but I'm going to say this. I might be biased on this, but I still say it. I miss Warren Madrigal tonight more than ever at those minutes when Nashville could not get inside the area.
Be more of a powerful attack.
Yes.
In cases. I can see that. No, yeah, I mentioned that to you in the press box when they went down 2-1, and they were struggling to find possession. They were struggling to find momentum, and I just nudged you on the shoulder and said, hey, this is a moment where they kind of need a guy like Warren Madrigal, because you could pass it to him on the left flank and he'd go kind of what Jacob Schaffenberg used to do, just run down the flank fast as possible,
right.
And then end up going 1v1s like we were talking about just a second ago. So, I mean, yeah.
That breaks the line.
Sure.
That really breaks the line, a guy like that.
Yeah, because then
you don't have it, then
right.
It becomes more predictable.
Yeah, and like we've seen some of it, but not a lot of it. A Reed Bicker Whiting, Warren Madrigal on the left side. It's been very uncommon in this case. But to that point, if you have Warren racing down the left and he's trying to beat his man 1v1, and like you're saying, it messes with the lines and the back line and the midline, all the above. Then you can pass it back to Reed. And there's so many different channels to pass through at that point. So, there's a lot of different, like BJ says, profiles that they can choose from to really exploit defenses when it comes to going up against teams here in the MLS.
And it's funny to think about a team winning games like the last one game in New York.
Yep.
1-0 at the 93 minutes. And tonight the same way happens. And when you look at it, well, hold on. Nashville wins 2 games at an overtime.
Right.
And pretty much, and Zurich didn't have anything to do with it.
No.
That's crazy to think about it.
To that point,
in terms of scoring,
sure,
he did a lot of work.
Sure.
On the side that is very important for the team as well.
Sure. I think also the positional value on the field
of
where he's at, I think that puts a tremendous,
stress on the team defense.
Yeah, it does. It puts tremendous stress on the defense. And to that point of what you just mentioned there, not only about Sam Surridge, but the resiliency of this team being able to score late into games. To be fair, I said this to you again before we left to go to the post-match press conferences. Championship winning teams do that.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not trying to, jinx or put a precursor.
I'm with you there.
But this team is structured to do something special this year. And I think with these last 2 games we've watched, the Wednesday night and tonight, special teams that are built for championships do that.
When we were discussing that I told you, if you don't say it, I'm gonna say that you said it. Remember?
Yeah.
We were also saying something that what I was worried more about the score 2-1 against at that point is when I told you that the problem I see, not maybe for tonight, those are playoff games.
They are.
They are playoff games when you lose to teams like that, and then you're out of the whole thing. All of a sudden, losing 2-1 at home or somewhere else, when you could be winning the game because you're being the better team. But then again, I didn't say this part at the end, but I should have. Coming back from what I said, but then finding a way to win like this is something else that the teams do when they need it in playoff time.
Yeah, just like what BJ said in the press conference, the resiliency from the team. I mean, it's massive. And I do think with Nashville going up against Cincinnati next week, that'll be a tough one.
Oh, yeah.
And it's here again. So
yes.
Nashville has the opportunity to kind of extend their unbeaten streak here at Geodis Park. And if they do that, then that I think would really put a big separation gap. Obviously, it will for standings purposes, but I think for quality of play and to getting some guys back healthier better than ever. And to be fair, I'm not sure how long Warren Madrigal's injury will be if he is, out for that long duration of time. But if he's ready for the playoff pushes for Nashville,
that'd be a blessing.
It would be a blessing. And I think a full force Nashville SC team.
Oh, wow.
Warren Madrigal, Christian Espinoza, Elias Saad. You have so many options to choose in that attack with Sam Surridge and even Hani Mukhtar. And then you get back you're fully healthy in some cases when he gets to that point. A guy like Patrick Yazbek, Eddie Tagseth, Matthew Corcoran. And a name we haven't mentioned, we've seen him for about 20 minutes, Famara Kamara.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's a player you like to see. And let's not forget about Brian Acosta. Brian Acosta has done a pretty good job.
I was going to mention him right now because sometimes for the regular eye, and I'm not saying my eye to watch football is better than anybody else. I'm just saying that maybe I'm looking at stuff in the film and you do as well that some other people might miss. But when you look at guys like Ryan Acosta and Eddie Taxi tonight, what do I see? Guys that have been playing a lot of minutes before, especially Eddie. He played the last 2 games fully 90 whatever minutes. That's the reason he was off tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to do it. You have to rest the guy.
Yeah.
But then he comes in like if he's never been out. He tries to do as much as he can. And the few minutes that he was, same thing for Brian Acosta. He started quarterbacking the team from the middle in a very good way, like he's been the whole game. Those particular things for guys that come from the bench and play like that and give the extra effort, that makes the big difference on why BJ likes all of these guys and he's ready to put him in at any time.
I agree. Hands down, I agree. There's nothing else to add to that because this team they're defying all the odds.
Yes.
They're setting new benchmarks, which is what these Nashville SC fans are excited about. Tonight's attendance was not the attendance that was given, but it was the amount of tickets sold, and that was 25,173.
And we took a couple of seconds to watch the fans celebrate that second goal, right? They were going nuts.
I will say that in the extra time when Nashville took the 3-2 lead with like a minute left in the 95th minute, it did feel like 25,000 in here. That I will agree on. It did feel like 25,000, but as for the actual attendance, wasn't there. It wasn't there 25,000.
But most probably that we're gonna have a sellout against Cincinnati for sure because of what happened tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
And now this team deserves to be playing under full capacity at the next few games, the next 6 more games here,
Yep.
and I believe that might happen very easily because of the way this team is giving these fans everything they have. And fans can say, "Well, Nashville," yeah, but that happens. I mean, again, you're playing against good teams.
Yep.
And I said it there. I think I said it on my question to BJ that maybe it was to Patrick. I can't remember well. That maybe the position of a team like the Crew doesn't show what they're capable of.
Right.
This team right there tonight, when they did, you probably thought about this team being second or third in the league. To be honest with you,
They played like a top 4 team.
they did for sure. But Nashville found a way to beat it.
There was the question that I asked Patrick about BJ because, there have been players like Shaq Muhammad, Ahmed Qasim, and Warren's mentioned it from time to time when we've been able to speak to him. And now we hear it from Patrick Yazbek, the transparency.
Oh, yeah.
The even keel conversations these coaches and players are having. And BJ Callahan has expressed, just being, transparent with his players. It speaks volumes and it goes the distance. And obviously my question kind of was a little bit of a chuckle for Patrick because I asked him, I was like, well, what makes BJ Callahan different from all the other coaches in MLS? And he goes, well, I haven't played for all the other coaches in MLS, which I understand. But to his perspective, I just want to know to his standards, what makes BJ Callahan different as a coach? And he said it, just the tactical awareness, the way that he prepares for games and the way he looks at the mistakes. And like he said, we're going to have 2 days off. We're going to go in there Tuesday. There's not going to be any smiling faces.
Yes.
He's going to learn from our mistakes, and we're going to keep going forward. Which to me is just like it's a never satisfied mentality, which I love. And again, that is a metric point or a talking point to a championship caliber team. They are never satisfied.
If I may add something, I shouldn't, but if I may add something to Patrick Shasbeck's answer about BJ, I probably would say, we like BJ because we know if we go to full 90 minutes playing for him or 2 minutes, we're ready to give it for him.
Right.
That's the kind of mentality this coach has set up on this team, and they're ready. Mm-hmm. 1 minute, 90 minutes, 96 minutes, whatever, they're gonna give everything for the coach and for the team, and that's very difficult to accomplish in anything, any sport.
Oh yeah, 100%. And as this team prepares this upcoming week, they only have one match to prepare for, and that's FC Cincinnati, and that's here next Saturday at Geodis Park. I'm Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier. This is Nashville Total Sports, Claudio Villalobos. Go follow him on all of his social media platforms. Follow him on Claudio Villalobos' Facebook as he is in the process of trying to get that account situated. I'm not
Yes,
sure, but
yes.
just to allow the fans to understand where to find you and me. I'm Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier. You can find me on 1025 The Game. The audio version of this will be on the Talking Calcio podcast, which is on the 1025 The Game podcast platforms. That will be tweeted out momentarily after this live show. Along with that, you can catch me on the airwaves on 1025 The Game Monday through Saturday I'm the executive producer of the Jason McJoe Show, award-winning from the TAB Awards. I don't know if
There
you're
you go.
familiar with that or not.
No,
but
that wasn't. But
Tennessee Association
like
of
to know.
Broadcasters, yes.
Like
we
to know.
won an award.
Congratulate you guys for that.
Thank you.
Good job.
And I'm also on with Connor Newton on the 6th, Monday and Wednesdays. And then I'm on with Jake Lyman Tuesdays on Next Man Up from 9 a.m. to noon. And then hosting along with Brandon Bigsby, Christian Skelton with the Weekend Huddle from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. I'm on a lot of shows. I'm sorry.
Now you see who I'm learning from.
Yes, exactly. So once again, Nashville SC beat the Columbus Crew 3-2 tonight in MLS play as they now extend their lead in the Eastern Conference to 9 points over Vancouver. That's in second, 49 points total on the year, and they are the leaders in the Supporters Shield. And for those fans that are wondering, what is the significance for them to win the Supporters Shield?
Wow.
If they win the Supporters Shield,
CONCACAF.
they have the automatic bid to the CONCACAF,
Yep.
which is huge for them. Along with that, they have the first overall seed in the MLS playoffs, and that helps them out as well. So,
We could be seeing 3 playoff games here for the first time in history.
yeah, and it could be
Championship?
the championship here
Championship
at
game,
Geodis Park, which is something a lot of Nashville SC fans are familiar with the League's Cup, but this at a different magnitude for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Once again, I'm Dr. Craig Nick Frazier with 1025 The Game. This is Nashville Total Sports. This is Claudio Villalobos. We'll catch you guys on the next one right here. Ci vediamo.
Hasta luego.